Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Lifelong Learners. In my previous episode, I started to talk about autism and how this administration is sending out false information to the autism community. During this episode, I want to continue to debunk the myths surrounding autism and neurodiversity. Come along with me as we talk about autism, current events, and neurodiversity. This is your host, Holly Tetreault. To keep up with my podcast, you can find Lifelong Learners on YouTube. Autism has been a big topic in politics and the news lately because this administration doesn't understand that autism affects the way people think, communicate, and interpret the world around us. People think that we can cure autism, but most people with autism do not want to be cured. We accept ourselves for who we are, and it doesn't matter if we stim or if we do something out of the ordinary. Because people who have autism or any other ability are just as human as anyone else, I am tired of seeing all the fake news attacking the autism community because instead of telling people like me that it's okay to be who you are, you have people who are running the government with no medical knowledge and blaming pregnant mothers for their child's autism, which isn't true at all. Autism is something that you are born with, and genetics plays a big factor in autism. Also, don't listen to anything that is said on social media about autism because most of the time, the false information and this information doesn't come from a credible source. There needs to be more love and acceptance for individuals who have autism, but who are neurodivergent as well. There is so much hate and negativity for autism and neurodivergence, which I am trying to understand. Being who you are isn't a bad thing when it's actually better for our well-being. I find that being who I am as a person leads to less stress, less meltdowns, and being comfortable to stim in any environment. This heartless president thinks that I will sit back and watch him take away every right I have as a U.S. citizen. Well, think again. The goal of my podcast is to speak up for my rights and the rights for every person who is scared of this president. I will not be quiet or be afraid because people deserve to hear the truth instead of all these lies. Autism and neurodivergence is something to be proud of, and other people need to understand and accept us for who we are. The times we are living in may be scary, but let me be clear. Vaccines do not cause autism, and taking Tylenol during pregnancy does not cause autism. There are many medical professionals, especially your doctors, who can tell you Tylenol is safe to take while you are pregnant, so don't listen to anyone who doesn't have a medical degree or doesn't know what autism is. You know your body better than anyone else, so don't listen to this president who can't even get the facts right about autism. I see posts every day on social media talking about how people with autism should be cured of this so-called disease we have. That is hurtful for me to see people posting things like we need to find a cure for autism. I want to tell people that you were born with autism and genetics play a role in it as well. People with autism don't need awareness. We need people to understand our needs, our differences, and accept us for the people we are. Instead of hiding these amazing human beings from the world, autistic individuals show us a different way of thinking, communicating, and interacting with their community each and every day. I don't know where I would be today if I didn't start to unmask my true self, and I understand what it's like to be seeing these things said about my community, and I do get angry and upset. This is why I am doing my podcast, because I know that there are people in my community who are scared, confused, and overwhelmed with everything that this president is doing to try and silence the autistic and disabled community. But my lived experience with autism is facts from my childhood to present day. Being a young woman with autism has always been a challenge, but now that my rights are under attack, because our president thinks that people with disabilities don't matter, well, think again. Having autism and living in times where things are uncertain and not knowing if your health care will be taken away from you. Autism has been the main topic of politics because there are people who are advocating for disability rights and better services for individuals with disabilities. This administration can't even come to an agreement about funding healthcare, food stamps, and other essential services for people with disabilities. We need to support better employment opportunities, more transitional services for students after they graduate high school. Everyone deserves fair and equal education. Even if someone's autistic traits aren't as noticeable, doesn't give you the right to treat them any less of a person. Someone with autism can teach you many things, such as being kind to other people and solving problems from their point of view. No one should have to feel like being different is a bad thing, because being different is a beautiful thing. Everything that is being said about autism is just another way for our president to tear us further apart and make people fearful of autistic and disabled individuals. Our president wants us to believe his lies and give in to his every demand, but we can't let him do that to us as the American people. As I talk about autism and all the lies surrounding it, I want to take a step back and talk about what autism used to be called back when I first got diagnosed. In 2012, autism spectrum disorder was referred to as pervasive developmental disorder because there wasn't much known about autism at the time. As the years went on and people became more accepting of autism and neurodiversity, we had made huge strides to get more people diagnosed, and I hate hearing all the bad things being said about autism, and we can't give in, and we need to be united not only as a community, but as a country. Everything that is being said about autism, that energy could be going towards funding more services for autistic individuals after they leave high school, because people don't understand that services and their autism doesn't just stop or go away after high school. These individuals need help with finding employment, or some may go to a day program. whatever the choice may be, we need to be there to support and guide these individuals. Autism doesn't stop at adulthood. We were born with autism, and making sure that we have the right help and support can make a big difference and help us to thrive in the community. This administration wants to take away the services that help us to thrive in the community. What our president is saying about autism is not only wrong, but it's hurtful to those people who are living with autism every day. Every autistic person deserves kindness, love, respect, and acceptance, because having autism isn't a tragedy. We are human beings who can contribute so much to society if people let us. We are more than capable of doing anything regardless of our disability. From my experience, having autism didn't limit me in everyday life. I am going to say that having the right help and support makes the difference when it comes to happiness, independence, and being able to thrive in my community. Don't let anyone tell you differently. That's it for today's episode of Lifelong Learners. Today, I debunked some of the myths about autism, talked about autism and current events, and advocating for autism and disability rights. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Lifelong Learners Pod. See you next time. Your host, Holly Tetreault.